Good morning, everybody. Chris and Will here in the Eagle's Nest. We're introducing a great topic today, but before we dive into that, I just want to let you know that Team Tangible is here to help you discover your mind and retrain your mind, body, and spirit to be aligned with one another. We also like to grab a hold of real life situations so that we can begin to understand where we are in life and make something of ourselves rather than just going with the flow and handing the wheel on to somebody that we do not know. We all have this ability that we can harness so that we can see things for what they really are. Let's first off realize that when you're going through life, there is no telling what comes next or where we're going, only to determine what we want to do next with ourselves. Now, today's topic is really great. It has to do a lot with work, but it also has to do with the fact that if you're working and not enjoying it, are you really doing yourself a favor or a service to others? I don't think so. And, let's get real with each other. If you're working somewhere and you're angry, upset, not in tune with things, and also out of tune with your body, nothing is going to go right. And you're just going to wake up a zombie every day and follow a path that you necessarily yourself don't deserve to live in.
Yeah, when it comes down to not being happy in the workplace, you are a toxic person.
Yeah.
Whether you know it or not, you might not portray it, you might not perceive it, but you are. When you're going in and your vibration is coming off that you don't want to be here, we could see it. We could feel it. I talk about vibes all the time. And when your vibration is telling you, get out, get out, you're just ruining it for other people. This might not be your passion. This might not be what you're shooting for. But guess what? You're here in the moment. Make the best of every situation at hand. Now, when we talk about today, when we're going to talk about taking control of your drive, that's what creates your success. Your success is never going to get handed to you. You could be the one in a million to get lucky, but it's not going to happen unless you make it happen. Unless you take control of your life, your situation, where you are in and at the moment, and drive your car to the road that you want to be on.
I like what you said back in the beginning there. The toxic environment is probably one of the most dangerous positions that you could put yourself into. When you're in a toxic relationship, even with somebody, happiness. I've been in my own fair share of toxic relationships where you have to call the same person every day. You have to see the same person every day, and you have to deal with the bullshit that they put you through. And, there's some level of commitment to a relationship where you have to work through those things with somebody. But I also feel that, when things are done, things are done. And that goes with work too. If you're going to work, that vibe, you're very right. You could feel that radiate off of anybody and everybody who's either not in a good mood or just doesn't want to be there. I've been in my fair share of environments where that one person walks in the room and your brain goes to immediately, here we go again. And everybody,
like sheltering, right?
yeah.
Like the person walks in, are you like, oh man, he's here, so like I'm scared or fearful of what they're gonna think or what they're gonna say?
Or even just the simple fact that this person's got to sit near me all day. And now I have to hear the nitpicking. I have to hear the bullshit. I got to hear, you know what I mean? There's certain situations at work that just aren't allowed in that environment. For instance, I work in retail and I have for a long time. And it even applies to the hospitality. I've been in restaurants and worked in them. Customers feel that too. So you're dealing with this individual or person And not only are you dealing with customers who feel that as well, but there's an entire environment where you feel uncomfortable in. It creates this cocoon where everybody is uncomfortable. And then there's the flip side of this. And this is who you should be. You who's listening, who's viewing. Um, we can't always do it all the time, but there's also that person that walks in where it's like, oh, that sigh of relief. They're here. That person is here. The energy pull that's strong, where it's somebody that you can learn from. It's somebody that shows success. It's somebody that you look up to and want to be like, right? That portrays all of these traits, that carries their own weight, that wants to eliminate that toxic environment.
Yeah, I'm gonna speak on that heavy because when you work on yourself to the fullest degree, when you have the drive to create your success, you're not only creating success for you, but you're going to be creating success for people around you because you're going to be what inspires them. Man, he is so awesome. He comes in with this great vibration every day, and he's the hardest worker I know. I want to strive to be something like him. And you might not realize that, but when you're in a management position or when you're trying to be in a management position, you need to have that drive consistently every single day.
I'm very happy you said that, because when you're trying to create your own story, you have to forget about everybody else. You have to focus solely on your own story. What story are you trying to tell? Who are you trying to be? And better yet, how can you improve your life entirely? Because when you take these proper steps to be the best person that you can be every single day, other people are uplifted by your decisions. So when you're out here trying to make everybody happy, you're forcing your beliefs on people. You're forcing this environment. You're forcing success. What you do is actually eliminate all of that success. You're not creating anything because you're not focused on yourself.
Well, when you try too hard in a lot of situations, you're not trying at all.
Right.
When you put and it's not about giving 110%, but it's like if you're trying to force it, if you're trying to force a square and a circle, yeah, eventually it's gonna work, but
You just
something's
got to
gonna
shave the
break.
sides, dude.
Well, as I say, something's gonna break, and what's gonna break might not be you, the square, trying to fit through the circle, but you might break the housing of the unit itself,
Yeah.
and that's what we're talking about with it. That's that toxic environment. If you're trying to be a circle going in a square hole, dude, you're going to break it.
Oh, yeah.
And you're going to break the system that they believe in. You're going to break everything. So when it comes down to it, where you're at might not be where you want to be at. And that's okay, but don't force it.
That's where the passion part comes in. And everything that you do in life is, if you're passionate about it, you might be in a position like that where you don't want to be where you are at that exact moment. But if you remain passionate about the things that you're doing, what eventually happens is we go through these steps in life. We've talked about the foundation, building a solid foundation. Now, that's all hard work, man. That's all hard work. Building a good, solid foundation is probably one of the hardest things that you will experience in your life. Excuse me. And then when you build that foundation, you do have to work through things that you don't necessarily want to be in.
Yeah.
And that's okay. You're the square trying to fit through a circle. But what you should be telling yourself is, okay, I need to become a little more circular. And I know that sounds funky, that sounds stupid, but it's about working through those steps. For instance, somebody that's working through the steps. When I was younger, I started working at McDonald's That I was a cashier in the front. I was making $7 an hour as a 16-year-old kid. I knew that wasn't where I wanted to be for the rest of my life. But guess what? You got to withdraw a little bit. You got to step back and say, okay, I'm going to play the part of a cashier. I'm going to do the best I can today. When I got off the bus, my bus driver dropped me off at McDonald's after school so that I could work. And you know what that was about? It had nothing to do with me wanting the money. I was supporting my decision to build a foundation of work ethic.
Well, yeah, definitely. You got to start somewhere, right?
I hated my boss. I hated my job. I hated the smell of McDonald's every time I walked in there.
Still doesn't eat at McDonald's.
No, a nice quarter pounder is good. Shout out to McDonald's. This is not a paid advertisement, but we hope you get we hope you get a McDouble or a fry. But man.
Well, it is what it is. When it comes down to starting something, you got to start somewhere. And when we talk about your passion, my passion to become a chef wasn't there from the get-go. Yeah. It wasn't my dream to become this. But I realized, hey, I like this.
Yep.
And this is something maybe I could do. But when you see all the negative traits of it, you kind of step back. I don't want to be a 40-year-old stuck in a place who drinks and does drugs all the time. I mean, that's the life of a chef most of the time. And it's because they get complacent. It's because they think they know it all. And the ego comes into play when it's time, and you go talk to other chefs. And you've been working in the restaurant industry. Oh, no, I'm not doing it that way because I've been doing it this way for 10 years. That's not having the drive anymore. That's not having... How many of our viewers watch Kitchen Nightmares? So complacency equals kitchen nightmares. But if you have the drive to learn more every single day, to strive for that better tomorrow, your success is unlimitless. You could keep rising to the occasion. You might be stuck at a place where you don't want to be. It's because you are complacent there and you are comfortable. Is it the fear to start something new? Is it the fear that you might not be making enough money? Money was a big motivational factor for my life for a long time.
You know what you call that person that's stuck? A dinosaur with a laptop. Just walking around, trying to fit in, trying to get through the day. That's what we call the old timers, man. A dinosaur with a laptop, and it's, again, forcing that square into a circle. When that's where the passion for what you're doing comes in, and the drive. It doesn't matter how old you are. A lot of people out there are on the same page where they say you must evolve with times. And money does play into that. Money is a driving factor behind that. But better yet, dude, it boils down to self-improvement, understanding the evolution of time. I mean, I don't want to dig deep into this because I could talk about it forever, but even cryptocurrency, man, a lot of people are against that right now. Cryptocurrency's on its way, and I've been into it for almost 10 years, dude. I'm not one of these mainstreamers trying to make 10 cents on a Dogecoin. I've been following this for a long time, and it's been evolving throughout time, and the dinosaurs with the laptop are hard at understanding, like, hey, the Federal Reserve, the hedge funds, these big guys are out here buying this stuff. I'm sorry, but if that's starting to happen, you need to learn to evolve with times. And that boils back down to being passionate about what you're doing. If you care about the course of your life, you do have to evolve. You don't want to be that chef in the kitchen that's still making the same fucking smash burger with the cheese on top with some ketchup,
Yeah, it's very discouraging looking into that. And like I said, when that toxic environment is, you're making that hard for other people. So for a person who was who is really gun-ho about becoming a chef and becoming one of the greatest of all times, to walk into kitchens and seeing your chef super unhappy was not awesome.
Yeah.
It was very discouraging. But I said, not me. And that's where you take control of your life. You have to say, not me, not today.
Yep.
Or it is me. Today I am going to do that. I mean, when it comes down to evolving, you might be a circle right now, but you could evolve into a square. You might be a square right now, but you could evolve to the strongest shape of them all.
Yeah.
The triangle.
Yep.
And have the 3 points that you stand for in your life.
Yep.
And really stand for them and watch what happens.
Mm-hmm.
But it has to be simplistic. It needs to be something that you're going to, like I said, be consistent about every single day. So when you stand for way too much, it's you're top heavy.
Yeah.
Or you're not balanced.
Yep.
But when you stand for a simplistic mindset, aka like, you have 3 points that you go in every day and strive for. Ours is safety, quality, and speed. And in those 3 points, that creates success. That creates success because now, if you're going in shooting for those same 3 goals every single day, it's going to elevate. But then if you realize one's not working, replace it. Evolve.
Yep.
Evolve with the times. If you're trying to put speed in front of safety, evolve. Remember, you are in control. You can make these decisions of your life. Do not be afraid to try to change.
Change is part of passion.
Change is a big word, and a lot of people tend to stray away from change. You
Sure.
notice that?
Oh, yeah.
But yet they do adapt. They do evolve. AKA the beard on your face was not that long. But it evolved and it grew.
Yep.
So it changed. But you're not going to say it changed. You're going to say,
That's
no,
my
grew.
beard.
So a person is never going to change when it boils down to it, but they can evolve, aka elaborate on their mindset, elaborate on their passion, try to become something better.
Well, you've already cut down the trees along your path. There's no going back to change what's already done.
Nope.
And with that being said, as you move forward in life, every step that you take is another opportunity to change the direction that you are walking in. Again, back to the point that I made before. You might be in a position that you don't need to be in. Now, what's working for you? Now, I like what you said about the triangle. You have these 3 supporting factors. When you figure out the 3 things that you need to focus on in life right now, you're actually narrowing down and not focusing on too much. So if you're focused on, let's say right now, money is a big focus for you. Okay, I have money. Now, how am I going to get money? Well, to get money, I need to create new habits. Okay, so with habits, what's that mean? Well, if I want money and I need to create more habits, I should probably start researching things in life that create money, right? So through the research, you're creating a habit of knowledge and learning. And then through the habits of all of this, you're learning more about yourself. So you have these 3 strong points, but throughout your journey and where you're going throughout all of this, little did you know that you've created stronger habits in every corner of your life, and then all of a sudden your habits become this way of earning money. Because guess what? When you create those habits and knowledge, you're starting to gravitate towards a job that you never saw yourself entering into. So, a lot of this actually opens up a window into more than just 3 points of your life. Because if you're passionate about the three corners, you're learning more than just those three things. And with those three things, with that being said, all of the sudden, I don't need money anymore. I want to figure out what my hobbies are. I want to spend my money on something that's important to me. I want to travel the world. I don't need money anymore. I'm going to keep knowledge, and I'm going to keep this other factor. I forgot what I said before. I'm thinking deep here, but I'm going to keep these two things. But now I want to travel. And within the mix of all that, you're writing your own story. And you're being passionate about it, and when you're passionate about it, you can do anything you want.
Definitely. I understand where you're coming from. But you would definitely have to achieve what you were going for. Right? So
Yeah.
when you're talking about getting the money, which I want to talk about for a second, because money is a lot of motivational factors in people's life. And I should tell you one thing. It doesn't matter how much money you make if you're unhappy. If you do not want to go to work, but you're making a lot of money, is it worth it? Is it really necessary? No. It's not worth sacrificing your mental health, your physical health, or anything if the money's worth it. It's not worth it. It can't be.
It ties right into the toxic environment.
The materialistic world that we live in, which I should say, because you could go get a belt from Walmart for $2, or you get a Gucci belt for $2,000. They do the same purpose.
Well, not really, but
Yeah, Gucci belt makes you fly and all this other stuff, right? And the Walmart belt just, hold your pants up. Same concept. But what are you really doing with that Gucci belt? Are you really trying to get these shoes that are worth $250 just so you could keep them in a box? So we live in a materialistic world, which is okay to an extent, but when it comes excessive, it's not okay in my eyes because, like I said, it's not okay in my eyes because you're just wasting your time. And then you're going to turn around and be like, well, why am I not successful? Well, you're not successful because you're using your money poorly. So you're trying to get this money to buy things when you could get this money, aka invest it in cryptocurrency, and now you have all the money in the world because you made the right choice. So your passion, your drive is about choosing what is necessary. There's the need versus want. Want is a lot more heavier than need. But if you say in your 3 triangle points, I need to have this by this time, I need to have a house by the age of 26, I need to have a $10,000 in my bank savings for comfortability, I need to be pursuing a girlfriend. And you strive for those 3 things. 1, you get it. And it's a snowball effect. So when you go on to those 3 points, now you got those 3 points. Now you could switch. Success does not come from wanting everything. Success does not come by wanting too much. Success comes from when you're really specific on it.
Being specific is one, yes. And also, you have to put the work in.
Well, hear me. When you're so solely focused, we call it hyper-focusing. When you hyper-focus on one objective at a time, you will succeed in it. You will feel good. You will feel great. Because when you overcome something, don't you feel good about it?
Every time.
But you might be afraid to start. You might be afraid of the judgment behind whatever we're talking about. Whatever your passion is, you might be afraid that your passion actually might be to go. What's something stupid? Give me something stupid.
What?
I mean, it's not even stupid.
I
It's
buy
nothing.
Legos.
Your passion might be to be a Lego maker.
Yeah.
Well, you're never going to make it. Whoever wants to build Legos, dude, people make millions of dollars in Legos.
Well, and saving them. They build equity over time. The value of Legos never goes down. They only
And
make
see,
so many and take
and
them off the market, you know?
exactly the point, though, is that it might be so foolish in a person's eyes, but in your eyes, it's what you want to strive for. It's what you want to do. So if you could survive and make a living and live a happy life with it, go for it. Don't let the judgment of others stop you. This is what creating your story is. Creating your story is you making the choices for yourself.
That's what creates a successful story. And that's what it takes to be your own individual. And when you are doing these things that you want to do, guess what? You end up around people that want to see you benefit. It goes back to the good old story when you're going through life. Excuse me. And you start to succeed. Yeah.
I want to talk about that
What?
real quick. You said the need of you at work versus wanting them there. We talked about it before we got on air.
Yep.
We got a comment saying about it. You could think yourself as a number and you'll always be a number.
Oh, yeah.
Numbers are always replaceable.
Oh, yeah.
But when it comes down to you wanting to be there and them wanting you, that's what's going to separate you. If you go in knowing that you're replaceable, because guess what? In the workplace,
You're always replaceable.
Always replaceable.
100%.
A successful business owner does not need
They don't need anybody.
their employees.
Nope.
They need bodies.
They need bodies. But at the same token, they need valuable players.
Yes.
And for you not to be passionate about what you're doing, you're not a valuable player anymore.
And that's when you could get replaced in the blink of an eye. But when they want you there, they want you to grow, they want you to be successful, they tend to realize, as in me, we tend to realize that this is bad. I'm getting talked to on the daily basis about what I'm not doing right. You know, this is toxic. This is not good. Oh, I'm leaving because it's just too hard. I can't do it.
I would beg to differ.
Exactly my point. I would beg to differ on that 100%.
It has nothing to do with you not wanting to be included. It's got nothing to do with you. Let's put it this way. Your feelings are irrelevant.
Take the feelings, put them to the side, and that's what happens in the workplace. We get caught up in our feelings.
It has to do with improvement. If you're getting rid up and you're not getting fired, manager cares about you. If you're getting talked to on a continuous basis, they want to keep you around because a manager can ask you to leave at any moment they want to. That's what insurance is for. That's what unemployment is for. Sorry, this isn't working out. Have a good day. Period. But when an employer speaks with you, put those emotions aside because they want to see you improve. If I'm telling you your flaws and what I see, either I see potential in you or I want you to do better.
Well, that's the damn truth, because when they're taking time out of their day when they're super busy or whatever the case may be, and they're investing in you. So yeah, you might think of yourself as a number, but numbers don't get investments.
Yeah.
But when you're wanted there, they will invest in you. When you have that drive to want to be better, they will invest in you. You will invest in yourself when you have that drive. You will go out of your own way to go learn more, to go take a few college classes. to go get another degree, to go travel the world, to have new experiences, to see what life really is. But it all has to be your drive and your story. It doesn't matter. I don't care what anyone else done in their life. It's not my life. And you have to realize that. It's not about what my mom did. My mom might not like that I'm doing this, but guess what? It's not about what she likes. It's about what I like. And we came into a big agreement with that a long time ago. Actually, me and my family did. It doesn't matter. You could be upset about it. I'm not anymore.
Yep.
You're gonna create this. You're gonna create a problem out of nothing. And that's where you have to take control of your life. Your drive is that. Your drive is that choice to be like, not today, Junior. You could create a good day. So put your work in. When you put the work in, watch what happens. You will be successful, guaranteed. But you have to go in every single day with the same mentality is from day one. I want to do this.
Yep. And you need to be willing to take a hold of things. You need to be willing to be the person that people are looking for or change your direction.
Take accountability of your lack of accountability.
Yep. Yeah, nah, for real. For real. Because if you're not taking accountability, you're not making it far in life.
No, you have to. Your action has a reaction.
Absolutely.
So when someone's coming at you, or you're coming at someone, you're looking for the reaction.
Yep.
And if they don't give it to you, what does that feel like? You get upset. You ever try to get under someone's skin and then boom, they just blew it off? You're like, damn.
Yep.
I was really trying to ruin your day. And that happens a lot. I see it happen a lot. There's people who just look for problems.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, find a solution for it.
The people who look for problems don't have a drive. The people who look for problems want to pin their problems off on other people. Excuse me. They're the type of people that don't want to take accountability. They're also people that have no motivational factor to make their own lives better. When you start working on picking out the flaws of other people, you're removing the attention from yourself, which means that you don't have to work as hard to get what you want out of life. You're putting people down so that you can step up above them without adjusting anything about yourself or your own life.
So who's directing your life in that moment?
Right.
If you're trying to one up by putting someone down, you're actually waiting for their mistake to happen. So they're actually directing your life. You're waiting for them to mess up so you could step over them. So they're taking control of your own life when you could just work harder, be smarter. Shit. When it comes down to it, when I just talked about someone trying to push your buttons, who's directing your life at that moment? They are.
Yeah.
Because they're looking for that reaction. If you give that reaction, they won.
Oh, yeah.
And they're directing your story now. You could give a reaction, and then the opposite reaction comes back, and guess what? You just lost your job. Guess what? You just got in a fist fight. Guess what? You might be in the hospital now. Because you gave a reaction that wasn't necessary. It doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. As much as judgment's always going to be there, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't. Judge yourself to the 100th degree. Where are you at right now? Your judgment on yourself could be what is holding you back. You're too easy on yourself. Toughen up. That's something I could talk about for a long time. The softness in this world. Dude, toughen up. You might be getting yelled at by your boss. Toughen up. And go on.
It's all about taking accountability for yourself.
Well, they
It's
don't.
it's
Well,
it's
I'm this
it's
way,
it's
Will, because of blah blah blah.
well, that's the pity party. That's what you tell yourself to feel better about the mistakes that you're making. That's what you tell yourself so that you can continue living the life that you're living without any adjustments. That's the dinosaur with a laptop walking through a china shop. Fuck this, fuck you. I hear it all the time. I don't want to be here. I don't want to do this. Well, guess what? Don't. Simple.
Yeah, because
Simple.
like I said, you're ruining it for people who want to be here.
Right.
So if you
And
don't want to be there, don't be there.
and even past that, it's that negative toxic environment. Back to what we were talking about at the beginning of the conversation. People are very good at changing a good environment into a negative one. People are extremely good at finding the negative and not seeing any positivity. I didn't want to go for a run this morning, right? And I'm sitting there thinking I don't have enough time. I can't do it.
Excuse.
I'm gonna.
Excuse.
I can't find my headphones. Damn, I can't do this without music. And I'm like, dude, what are you doing?
You could find an excuse to not do anything.
But I love to run.
Yeah.
Why? You don't have enough time. You got a whole hour and a half, dude. You're good. You
And
know,
who ended up being late today? Not you.
right? I was early still, but I enjoyed my coffee. But it's those things that your brain tells you, and people think that your brain tells you things and you should believe it, and that's not true, man. Your brain can even contribute to writing the story for you. Your brain can even bring you to a point where you're not becoming who you're supposed to be. Negative thoughts are natural. Negative thoughts happen all day long. Your brain thinks between 40 and 70,000 thoughts a day. And for you to step back and think about that, I would say 49,000 to 69,000 of them are involuntary. You're just, you know what I'm saying? Boom, 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 boom. Light bulb.
I was say that's it.
What?
That's it.
Well,
60,000.
Hey,
that's
listen,
it?
I don't know what your brain's doing,
My
but
brain's 1,000 miles an hour, bro,
right,
man.
right. That's what
I'm a Formula One race car up there. You have no idea. Oh man, that's next off.
You don't even see the cars. That's how fast they're moving.
Exactly.
But
you can realize what they are
that
by the color, by the sound, by the this, by the that. So if they're moving so fast that you can't see them, you could do something about it. So
you're thinking it. You're thinking it. And you have a rational part to your brain that says, whoa, 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 hold on.
That's the balance between your subconscious and conscious reality.
Hold on. I like to run. Hold on. I'm getting mad. Hold on. I'm overthinking this. Wait a second. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I'm not the only person here. You know what I'm saying? And that's the requirement for passion too. If you're not passionate about things and you're bringing to the table nothing, you just let the flow of life carry you. It's like that, it's like that story you hear all the time about the inconspicuous person. La 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 la. Oh, I walked into a wall. No problem. La 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 la. That's not. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. Yes, it's okay to forget about things for a little bit. It's okay to be inconspicuous, but dude, tie your shoe once in a while. Look down. Chill. Hold on. And it's frustrating because I experience it over and over again. And
I think everybody does. Though. I think everybody goes through a time in their day where they're like, you want to know what? Not today.
I call it the 2 o'clock hump.
But that's what I'm talking about. You have to be consistent every single day. And you could speak on that. You're very routine built.
Oh, yeah.
So if you don't do one thing one day, you kind of feel incomplete.
100%.
But guess what? Now your whole day's thrown off. And now you let one thing mess you up. because you didn't want to do it. But now it messed your whole day up. So in that 10 seconds of doing it or not doing it, you could have really overcame your whole situation for the day. So if you're built on a routine, which most of us should be, I should say. I mean, my routine gets thrown around all the time, but I have a routine on being thrown around all the time.
Well, you know how to adjust too. It's about
Yes.
adjusting.
Adjusting is definitely key, but that's what's taking your drive. That is your drive. You are the driver of your life, your body, and your mind. So you have the right to turn the wheel a little bit, to slow down, put your foot on the brake. But you have to adjust all the time.
It's more complicated. It's more like driving an airplane. Switch, 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 off, on, lights, camera, boom, boom, boom.
I mean, maybe
It's
that's the problem.
you know what I'm
Because
saying?
maybe your life is an airplane. My life's a race car. Someone else's life's
Where's
a
your
boat.
helmet?
Someone else's life is a scooter.
Right.
But this is what I'm saying. You could evolve and you could adapt and overcome. And everyone is driving a different vessel.
Oh yeah.
Your vessel is your body.
And they're all unique.
I might not have 1,000 light switches,
Right.
but guess what? We'll still end up in the same point if we wanted to.
That's when you start to write your own story. That's when you start to drive your own airplane. That's when you start to drive your race car. That's
Yeah,
when
you have
that's
to,
that.
and that's the thing. You have to realize what you're driving.
Oh yeah, 100%. And then that's taking a hold of becoming the director and doing what you're passionate about. That's creating an environment. And guess what? If you don't like driving a race car, hit the pit stop and get out and drive something else.
If that's too fast for you, exactly. Slow down a bit. Slow down to speed up. Sometimes you're trying to be something you're not. You're trying to be a race car when realistically you're built to be a boat, just floating in the water. But guess what? And now you're trying to control a race car? You're trying to be a race car? You'll never be successful. When you're a boat trying to be a race car, you're never going to go anywhere. Realize what you are. You are your own self. You have your own drive. You have your own drive train. You have your oil. You have everything.
Yep.
You are completely different. Every car is different. Every vessel is different.
And we do upgrade. We do change parts.
Yes.
We do follow a path that changes, and sometimes you might even have to change the wheels or the direction because we travel different terrain. There's factors in life that you won't see yet, and the whole shebang, the whole package of this entire discussion is to essentially be the person that you want to be today. Figure out where it is that you're going today. Understand what you're driving today. Take that time to reflect today. If you don't like what you're doing today, then change it. And sometimes that requires change that's over a long period of time. Okay, you don't like your job. Well,
Yeah, turn 1 degree and you'll end up in a completely different spot.
yes, and it doesn't happen overnight. Don't quit your job today and expect to get another one tomorrow. No, go in and work the hardest that you can from here on out. Give it 100%. Okay, show a little passion, because if you show a little passion, you're going to learn what it means to be passionate about something. Go in and look for something that you can learn. Go in and look for something that does interest you.
Well, hear me out.
Hear
me out for a second.
I'm listening.
You might not like your job.
Sure.
You might hate it. And you go in there with a stank attitude all the time. But you're missing opportunities.
Sure. Every
One
minute
of my
of the day.
closest friends worked at this job for a long time. And she was at the point where she didn't like it anymore. Negative. But continued to be a vibrant person to the customers and to the job. Deep down inside, hated it. But she got offered another job opportunity because of her work ethic. So just in that moment, if you just gave up, you would have missed that opportunity. So give it your all. Even if you don't like it, still do it full throttle.
I'm a firm believer in that.
Be the best
I'm a
person you
firm
could be,
believer.
right?
Absolutely. At all times, you have to give 100%. You have to find that area in your life where you can be content with doing and be okay with where you're going. That doesn't mean latch onto things and set your anchor. That means latching onto something in the moment that can keep you happy. That means doing things for yourself that is going to influence you to keep going in some kind of direction, because when your vessel stops, when you stop, you're not going anywhere at all, which is more harmful than anything. When you're not going anywhere at all, your potential goes from 100% to zero.
Yep.
And I don't even think most of us are operating at 100%. Anybody, I mean, if you're listening to this, or if you're sitting in this room right here with us, I mean, I think all of us, none of us are at 100% yet.
You'll never actually get to 100%. In my eyes. Because there's always more.
Yeah.
There's always more to obtain.
There's always
You'll
more to
never
learn.
actually get there. And until you realize there is no destination and there's only the road to travel on, then you might needed to hear that.
Yeah. 100%.
You might be reaching for a destination that's irrelevant.
Oh, yeah.
Because guess what? That destination is over those mountains over there.
Over yonder.
And then when you get over those mountains,
there, we
gotta go over that mountain.
But I gotta try. Made that up.
It was nice. It was very nice.
I mean, that's it, dude.
The bear went over the mountain.
That's it.
Time to go over yours.
That's it.
So let's wrap it up real quick. You have the drive of your life. You have the pen and the paper to write down your own story. Everybody has a pen, and they could create your story for you, or you could create your own. I'm going to say create your own. Don't react to every react. Don't come at anyone.
No.
Just live your life. Don't be afraid to start. Don't be afraid of judgment. Judgment's always going to be there regardless, but the only person that could judge you is the Lord. That's all I got.
And to put a nice bow on that and package it up real nice for you. Keep going in the direction that you're going into. If you have to change a degree or two, do that. But realize what environment you're in. Realize what you want to do with yourself and set up your triangle. Set up your foundation. Today, I want you to sit down for a minute, get your notebook out, and write 3 things in your life that matter the most to you. Nobody else. Because what matters most to you, when you start to focus on that, what that does is help improve the lives of everybody around you while you're working on yourself. Because the more you have to offer to the world, you're creating a better environment to live in. It does nothing but good for yourself and everybody around you. Because when you're focusing too much on others, you're doing no justice to your mind, body, and spirit. With that being said, make sure you check out our website, tangibletriumph.life. Chris and I would greatly appreciate it if you spread the word of Tangible Triumph. Let everybody you know in your life if this has helped you or not. And if you know anybody that's struggling, whether it be through addiction, whether it be looking for a job, if they're trying to improve their life, or somebody just looking for something that wants to help empower them, send them our way. We always take personal messages. We'll give you a shout out. We'll even let you in here to sit down and talk about your own story. If you're looking to promote your business and you want to come in and discuss that with us, we'll let you air and advertise that for free. We just want to help spread the positive world that we all live in. Hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe to our pages. tune in and listen to our podcast. You can pause it and listen to it, pause it and listen to it. It's a beautiful thing. We're on Anchor as well, and we are on Spotify. Just spread the positivity. And, just so you know, if nobody told you today, we care about you. And with that being said, all rivers lead to the same ocean. Just don't swim upstream. Peace out, everybody.
Peace out.